My name is Jack Ondek. I'm the Chief Information Officer of Bristol West Insurance Company. We are a non-standard automobile insurance company, currently in about 20 states. We have about 1,200 people that work for Bristol West. We have 3 main offices and we have about 17 satellite offices, both legal and claims. If you look at what insurance industry is, it's really about information. Pull everything back and that's really what it's about. It's how we're able to get that information to the customers, to our producers, to the people doing the analysis of the information, to our claims organization. It is really kind of the backbone. One of the things we noticed as we started to incorporate more and more data into our data warehouse is the amount of time it took to process applications. Processing time we used to speak of in terms of literally weeks to go through and run some of these end-of-month reports. It became immediately obvious that the old 32-bit architecture simply could not handle the type of data and multivariate analysis that we were currently conducting. So at that point in time, we had to come up with a new solution, and we looked at the idea of using 64-bit servers to increase our processing time. The problem was, quite frankly, we were in a situation where our data had outgrown our current infrastructure and support. So we were under a very large time crunch to get this in as fast as possible.
With our previous vendor, we did have some performance problems. A lot of it was I/O related. Some of it was also processing related.
So we sent out a bid to 3 different vendors for the 64-bit processors. We told every vendor that the most important thing was time to market at this point. We had to get it in, we had to have it up, and we had to have it operational. All 3 of the vendors said that they would send us a pilot server box to go set up and test the new data warehouse solution in.
IBM set itself apart from the others in the fact that it could deliver the equipment to us when we needed it, and the fact that IBM was able to provide us with a demo. The other companies wanted us to come look at a demo that they have in one of their data centers, rather than send one to us for us to use for our specific applications.
IBM had their box installed, had their technicians on site, hooked in, and we were able to test our data before the other 2 vendors even had their boxes ready to be shipped from their factory warehouse. That was the type of response we received from IBM.
When we finally moved over to the 64-bit architecture, the results were dramatic, really. It ran in 6 hours, and on the 32-bit environment, it was running in about 24 hours.
Intel and IBM are very excited about the solution that we've developed for Bristol West Insurance, because it really highlights the capabilities of the Intel platform when combined with the IBM xSeries hardware. The incredible speed, as well as the 64-bit memory addressability, allow the Oracle 10G database to really demonstrate how it can meet the needs of a dynamic enterprise like Bristol West Insurance.
For our data warehouse, we're running 2 IBM 64-bit servers. We're also running a storage area network with about 4 terabyte of data on there right now that comprises the core of our data warehouse, both from a processing and our data storage area. What we found was that our combination of running a Linux operating system as well as Oracle 10G worked very well on these servers. We knew we were somewhat on the bleeding edge using Oracle 10 Rack and using Linux Red Hat 3.0 operating system. But IBM's ability to have that all in there and have it up and operational in a very short period of time is really the determinant that said that's who we want to use. In fact, we ended up moving on and using their storage area network solution as well as part of a complete solution for this.
Some of the other things that we're doing, we now have 3 BladeCenter chassis. We're putting some of our point-of-sale systems onto Blades and running them from there, and we're starting to consolidate a lot of the servers onto Blades. So we're not just running one application, we're running a couple of applications in the BladeCenter.
My challenge as a CIO is to invest in the technology that allows me to grow with a minimum of cost. Purchasing things like IBM Storage Area Network allows me to continue to grow. My particular SAN starts off at 2 terabytes, I can go up to 6 terabytes. Then I can get an additional SAN that hooks into it. So I can grow incrementally as opposed to some large-scale purchase every 1 to 2 years. Moving this solution, our uptime has been fantastic. In fact, we have not had any reliability issues with the hardware or the storage area network that went with it.
The 64-bit architecture, coupled with the IBM SAN, enabled that application to run much better than it did on a 32-bit platform because of those 2 factors.
The good news of that is once we had everything installed and we put it in, the performance has been phenomenal compared to what we have before. The end-of-month process that used to take literally weeks to run is now just a few days. And that type of performance is almost priceless to us in the insurance company.
The challenge was welcome, but it was a pleasant surprise on how easily it fit in.
It was the right decision. You know, the bottom line, it was the right decision, because had we stayed on 32-bit, we just would have been dead in the water as an organization. The perfect comment I heard was when the server technician put in the box and he was uploading the operating software. His first comment about using it, this was his first use of a 64-bit processor, and he looked over at me and he said, "It's a screamer."